And Vanessa has, with, is it Kathy?
Kathy O'Loughlin.
Has produced this most extraordinary resource for looking after ourselves in ministry. And John's got a link that he's going to share with you all to get a copy of this document for yourself that you'll be able to print off and fill in. So some amazing background reading just there. But what we're going to do today is take a look at the worksheet, if you like, and those 5 spiritual values that we introduced last session that we recapped earlier on today. We're going to look at those in terms of looking after ourselves. So we'll walk through them briefly now, and then we'll give us a little bit of time, give you a little bit of time just to kind of jot some notes down in these areas.
So the idea of this document was really to give ministers a space and a time to reflect and to have a scaffolding, if you like, a framework in which people were able to reflect on where they were in ministry, what was happening for them, what was going on, and to reflect according to these kind of spiritual values that enable us to shape our mental health, to enable us to have strong mental health. And so Kathy and I put together this document, and the artwork, I have to say, is all down to Mike. So it is really a collaboration in several ways, because he did all the fancy stuff.
The colouring in.
I can only really manage to type. That's about as far as I can get. He makes it all look pretty. So the idea of it is that we took the spiritual values, we thought about how they connected with ministry and with some of the things that we might struggle with ministry. And the idea is that if we are paying attention to these spiritual values in our lives and in our ministry, it helps us as human beings to stay well, to maintain our own well-being and our own mental health. And if we as ministers understand our own mental health, understand our own well-being and self-awareness, then that then in turn enables us to support other people in their own mental health journeys. So we've got our 5 spiritual values there. And really this document is very much a document for you as ministers to work with as you wish, really. And we've just put some questions and some comments linked to each of those 5 spiritual values to enable you to have a think about them. So we've got connecting, so thinking about where are we connecting with our family, with our friends, with our church relationships. How are we connecting with those in perhaps a positive way? Where are there changes and differences that we might want to see? Where are we flourishing with those, and where is it feeling perhaps a bit dry and a bit undernourished?
So then, meaning that is about I guess our calling, the things that we are about and that we are doing. So how is that? What does the work look like at the moment? Is that life-giving? Are there challenges within that? What about that kind of bigger picture? We've talked a bit about that this morning in some of the plenary sessions. We've been able to share some thoughts of how what we do fits into a much wider picture, but then also our own kind of nourishment and our own meaning in all of that as we think theologically through and kind of journey with God through all of this as we live out our calling. Where are we at with that? How are we doing equipping ourselves for our meaning and purpose?
Then we have hoping. So we talked a little bit earlier about the importance of hope and where that features in our lives. So where is hope for us? What gets us up in the morning? What are our dreams? What are we hopeful about? Where are we wanting? Where are we looking to in the future?
The transcendence, we've this is important for us as ministers, and I think certainly if I'm honest, and maybe this is the case for some of you as well, that sense of personal connection with God is often something that can get neglected in as other things are doing, but where are those spaces? Where are those times when we get to breathe in? Where are those spaces and where are those times when we get to breathe out? What are the things that have sustained us? What are those spiritual practices that have sustained us over the days and weeks and months and years of the past that we need to be paying attention to now, that can sustain us now and on and into the future?
And finally, becoming, how are we growing through the experiences that we are having right now? What are we learning? Where is there new growth, new shoots? And are we open to change? Are we open to thinking about where challenges might enable us to flourish? Are we open to having a sense of meaning that enables hope? Or are we being quite weighed down by the events that are surrounding us at this time? So where are we open to change? Where are there green shoots? How are we growing?
So I think there might have been some challenges with the link just while we were going through that, but we'll leave this on the screen if you don't have your own copy. Hopefully the link or a link has now been shared that will work. But what we're going to do is we're just going to stick ourselves on mute.